Good morning, y'all. It's good to see you here in my section of the class. So now that you've gotten all the other parts done, well, most of them rather, you're like halfway done if I'm not mistaken. Now we're going to be doing spiking today. So now I told you last week we're moving on to game stage 2 of spiking. So today we're going to be working on actually spiking the ball. Last time we were doing this, I just had you spike the ball into the wall. And today for our skill practice, that's what we're going to do. But before we start that, I have 3 new cues for y'all. So today we're going to be acquiring your jump distance as the first cue. Second cue is going to be get your timing down, and your third cue is going to snap your wrist. Now, snap your wrist, you should remember that, okay? From the last time we did this. Now, going through step by step for your cues. When you get to spiking, we spiked only while stationary. Now we're going to be doing it while getting into the aspects of gameplay, okay? So when you're ready, I'm going to set the ball to you, and then you're going to be getting into a specific spot where you can get a good enough jump into the air. But you have to remember, the second cue is your timing. You have to be either doing a 1, 2, or a 3. A 3 is the basic set you can do, okay? A 2 is gonna be a little faster, and 1 is gonna be right away. So today we're only gonna be focusing on 3s today, okay? So once we get into it, we're gonna set your spikes up into the wall, okay? So my stop and go cues for today are 3 claps, 1, 2, 3. That means stop, put your equipment at your feet, and spike it up means to go. All right, when I say spike it up, I want you to grab a ball, go to a part of the wall where no one's next to you, and just start spiking into the ground, into the wall. And if you can hit it again into the ground, keep doing it. All right, guys, ready? Spike it up. All right, guys, good job, fantastic work. Hope you guys are nice and ready, and your shoulders are nice and warmed up. So for what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do hitting lines. And I know I told you about the beginning of the semester, when you guys were with the other teachers and you came to me, that we were going to do some hitting lines. Hitting lines is basically we're going to have 3 lines on the court, and we're going to have about, maybe 25, 30 of you. We're going to have maybe 8 or so of you guys in each line. You're going to have a ball. You're going to throw the ball to me, nice, even, 2-handed toss to me, and I'm going to set it to you, okay? So right now we're going to have a student demonstration. So I have a student right off camera, and we're going to show you what I want you to do, all right? So I'm going to stand over there. I'm going to set the ball to him. All right, let's do this. Perfect. All right, so right there, that was perfect. That was what we call a 3. And that is the timing at which the ball goes nice and high, and they just hit it right as the ball's right above the net, and they spike it down, okay? And his 3 cues, he had perfect cues. Even though he hit into the net, that's perfectly fine. This net might be a little higher than what I want you guys to be using. The only reason we're using this net is because we're outside today. And I don't know the exact regulations for a net on this height, okay? So 3 cues. What are 3 cues? They are to acquire your jump distance, they are to get your timing down, and then they are to, what was the 3rd cue? It was to snap your wrist. I apologize, even though we did learn it last week, am I right? Okay, so once I say spike it up, I'm gonna go back to my position, and I want you guys to start getting into lines and just start tossing some. Ready? Spike it up. All right, good job, guys. That was perfect setting. Now I saw that some of you guys were doing tips and roll shots, and that's perfectly fine. And actually, in fact, that's perfect for our next activity right here. So if you see on the other side of the net, I've made up some targets. So we're going to be doing the exact same thing with hitting lines, except this time I want you to hit each target. If you're in line 1, I want you to hit the red jacket. If you're in line 2 right here, I want you to hit my black water bottle. If you're in line 3 back there for a back set, I want you to hit those white sweatpants over there. Okay, so for the purpose of this is because if you don't know where you're going to hit it, you don't know if the ball is going to be going outside of bounds. And you want to be able to circumnavigate those blockers or those receivers and make sure that point you hit as soon as you get it in is in, all right? All right, let's spike it up. All right, guys, that was perfect work out there today, and I love it. Okay, so before I send you off to the next teacher for our next part of the volleyball game, we're going to be going over 4 questions today, okay? So today we talked about 3 cues. And just a quick reminder, does anyone remember what the 3 cues are? Perfect. It is to acquire your jump distance. Nice, that's snap your wrist, but that's the 3rd cue. Did you remember, anyone remember the 2nd cue? Yes, it's perfect. To get your timing down, that's perfect. All right, so, and just so the other 3 questions I have today are actually connected to those. So the timing, our timing down today, does anyone remember what timing we're going for? It's a little bit of a trick question. That's exactly, it's a 3. Today our timing was 3s, that's perfect. And so, does anyone remember what our distance for our attack today was? Good. I like how you got around it. That was a trick question. Yes, it's the exact distance we need for our hitting lines. It's going to be right where you were when you were standing for our hitting lines. Perfect. All right. And for our last question, does anyone remember what a foul is? Haha, I know, I was playing a little tricky on you. That was what we learned last week when we were learning about the courts. It's anything outside of the lines when we're hitting the balls, okay? That was perfect. I love it today, guys. That's awesome. Now I'm gonna send you off to the next teacher. So I'll see you tomorrow, rather, okay? Bye, guys.